Good morning, everybody. Dalton Grados, the Greatest Capital here with the newsletter for June 26th. It is a Monday. So, again, if you are just watching this on YouTube, I do a daily pre-market newsletter. But lately on Mondays, I'd like to do a video if I can, just to kind of set us up for the new week. So, first, we'll look at economic events. So, Tuesday, tomorrow we have CPI at 8:30. That'll be important to show inflation cooling, or if inflation spikes. We have Powell speaking at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, so that will be important. Probably trade the afternoon that day. Thursday, Powell speaks again at 2:30. I feel like Powell's been speaking a lot lately, but it is what it is. So 2:30 on Thursday. Oh, that's 2:30 a.m. Actually, that's interesting. Um, that seems out of place. Why would he speak at 2:30 a.m.? But anyway, we have GDP at 8:30. So really don't really have to worry about this since it's super early in the morning. GDP unemployment at 8:30 and CPI and PCE price index and GDP on Friday. So those are our weekly events coming up this week. So we'll see what happens with those. Now let's go to what actually matters more than anything else is the market generated information, of course, the charts and the price action and what the price is telling us, because price is all controlled and delivered. So on the weekly chart, still in this time frame, in this section over here, these past few weeks is still bullish. I would say until we start filling in some of these gaps down here, we still have some of these to fill. But overall trend is bullish. We had our first down close week last week, but still did not engulf this week's candle, which was a gap up. So we did not come below this green candle here. So we're still holding these gaps up, right? Targets on the upside, we probably have to come down a little bit more before we go up, but targets on the upside would still be this area on the weekly chart. And then on the downside, we've been talking about these gaps that we have to fill. Here, this volume imbalance down here, and this new week opening gap from 3 weeks ago. All right, daily chart for the ES. So we broke this swing low here, which could be a market structure shift to begin heading downward. However, again, we still have to clear this area, which would clear that gap up to maybe start heading downward more towards the other imbalances below us. So we'll monitor for that. Now, on a daily basis, and I'm just doing my prep as well as I do these videos. Excuse me, I had a yawn there. So going into today, I would say, well, we could start with the daily, right? This area is kind of a bottoming area. You have a bottom here, right? A bottom here. We have wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. So our wicks made a new low, but then, are we going to get strength to move through this area, or are we going to kind of balance out here? We could balance out here before heading up, or we could just bounce straight up. So a couple of different scenarios. I would say really below the overnight low and getting conviction further down would be pretty bearish. Targeting first, I would target the low of this daily candle. So I'm going to set an alert for that. 43.49.50 or 43.50. Okay. And then, of course, target this gap fill to 43.25 below that. Right? Right? So if that candle turns out to be, it looks like a doji now, but it's still early. If this candle turns out to be bearish, those are the levels I would target for today. That would be pretty much a strong move below the overnight lows with strong internals, conviction downwards. And simple for the upside, I would look for a break above the midnight high, which would be right around this level here. So basically filling in this this engulfing candle down with 43.95. Just put midnight or midnight open. That's the general area, right? So midnight open, target these highs for buy side liquidity, right? So buy side or buy side liquidity there. Buy side liquidity is definitely here. These relative equal highs. So I would target these levels on the upside. Alright. Oh, I did not mean to put a buy order. Alright, create alert. Buy side liquidity. And those are the areas really that I would monitor going into today. So on Mondays, I do like to let the market play out a bit before trading, just because it's a new week, right? So we need to keep that in mind and see if we're going to get, again, from a daily perspective, is this candle, are the bears going to run out of gas here and take us up, which is basically going to be kind of stopping right at near the top of this daily bullish candle, or are we going to break that and fill this imbalance? Basically, those are the two questions for today and even greater into this week. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, is are we going to break this down and fill this gap, or are we going to stop here and maybe either head up or maybe balance a little bit more and then head up? Those are the questions I'd be asking now. Let's also keep in mind the NQ, which has been leading the market, right? So NQ has a much more bullish outlook, right? This weekly close has come nowhere near the bottom of this weekly bullish candle, leaving the gap up intact. So NQ has to come down a lot further to begin filling its gaps. On the daily chart, we've got really a lot of bullish structure on the NQ. So I keep that in mind. Now I like to trade the NQ as well as the ES, but even if you're only trading ES or SPY, use the NQ for confluence, because these tech stocks really are leading the market and holding everything up. So, and the Dow has been probably the weakest, but the NQ, if it's holding up, then I would not expect the ES to come down, right? So, again, NQ in a bit of a barcode area right here, a balance area. So, question would be, again, we're balancing right at the top of this daily candle, right? So, question would be, do we, again, come from this balance area to break down, filling in this gap? This is what I would target first, this gap. Alright. 677, 14,677. Or do we begin to actually maybe curl up from here? So those are basically the two things I would look at. 15,000 is going to be a big level, right? I already have an alert mark there. And then above these equal highs. There's definitely a lot of buy side liquidity up here, which I already have marked as well, around 15,250. A lot of buy side liquidity from those relatively equal highs. Now, if we attack those, then you can definitely believe we are going to rocket up to the highs, because yeah, this level needs to get taken out. So for today on the NQ, similar sentiment. I would say these lows, getting below the overnight lows, would be bearish for me, especially with acceleration and confirmation internals. Internals, of course, being your ADD and tick and volume breadth. And then these highs up here would target buy side liquidity as well. These overnight highs. All right. So that's basically it. That's kind of what I'm looking for going into this week. And again, these newsletters. If you're new to trading, you should never listen to anyone that is going to be like telling you they know what is going to happen, or like, this is going to happen. It's going to go long this week. It's going to go short this week. I'm here giving you scenarios of if this, then that, right? If we break these lows, then I'm looking to target this area. If we head up, then I'm looking to target this area, because that is how the only way we could trade the market. So, the first rule of the market, of course, is like nobody knows anything, right? So the idea is to look at what we have with the market generated information and generate probabilistic scenarios that we can execute on. So that is the purpose of this newsletter. Anyway, leave a comment, thumbs up, like if this was helpful, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the newsletter. If you're not already, subscribe at the link in the description. I have a daily written newsletter that goes to your email. It's free, and then you also get these videos every week. So see you guys next time.